Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mac, doing lore reading once again. So, last time we stopped on Vox Mortem. So, we will be continuing with Trey's lore. Shall we get started? An Avali origin story. Trey. Trey was just a regular child. Oh god, I screwed that up already. Okay, let me try that again. Trey was just a regular Avali, only she was the great-grandchild of the home. Her parents were busy all the time and gave little attention to her. At the age of 10, she was on the internet and found a dark website about killing each other. She watched this live until she was 13. Her parents soon learned that she was watching. What she was watching, my goodness. Her parents immediately shut down her computer and yelled at her. The next day, her parents sat her down. My goodness, it still says set. Sat her down and told her about her great-grandfather and how they didn't want her to be like him. After they told her this, she was still enraged after yesterday and killed both her parents. She felt so alive after killing them. She killed 2 other people. She then went to kill 1,000 people within the next 2 months. Then when she was 14, someone found her. Vox Mortem. And this time, she killed over 12,782 people. She was determined to surpass her great-grandfather. Vox had told her that if she helped him, he would help her kill as many people as she wanted. If she failed, he would lock her in an asylum that would try to convince her not to kill. The task was to spy on the swarm and capture Walter. But it seems she has joined the swarm, and with the friends she has, she doesn't know if she can complete the mission, and is too scared to tell the swarm about it. We will see in time. Receiving transmission. Box. Trey, come in. Static. Box. Trey, come in. Static. God dang it, Trey, you better answer me right now. Static, being picked up. Trey. What do you want, Vox? Vox. It's been 2 weeks. Why have you not responded? Trey. I've been busy, sir. Vox. I've been busy. You mean you haven't progressed at all? Trey. No, they haven't told me anything. Vox. Then make them tell you. Trey. No, I mean, they're pretty strong-willed. They won't tell me anything if I tortured them. Vox. Trey, you better not be feeling for them. Trey. What? No, you know perfectly well that I don't have feelings. Vox. Trey, if you don't kill them, or get me info I need, I'll send war to finish them. Trey. No, why him? Why them? Vox. Because I know they will get it done. Trey. I'll do it myself, Vox. Trey. Sorry, not Trey. God dang it. Vox. Then do it right now. I want to hear their screams. Trey. No! Vox. What do you mean, no? Trey. I can't do that, sir. Vox. Why can't you? Trey. I mean, I gotta go. Vox. Trey! Trey! Static. Vox. God dang it! He proceeds to slam the desk. War! War. Yes, sir? Vox. Get the others. You know what to do. End of transmission. Ooh, I screwed it up on that one too much. An Avali origin story. Twin. Twin was the adopted son of Walnut. Twin, as a kid, had a twin brother named Top. They were very close, until the Apex came and killed their parents. As the brothers ran, they got split up by a fallen house. They ran their separate ways to try to get to each other. Twin was lost and couldn't figure out where he was. Then, a light blue armored Avali found him. He took him into a secret bunker underneath the city. Hey Kit, where are your parents? The Avali asked. Twin just looked down and started to cry. Oh well, the Avali took off his helmet to reveal a light blue Avali that was brighter than the armor. I'll take care of you until we figure something out, okay? Twin still looked down, nodded. and nodded. What's your name? Mine is Walnut. Twin was hesitant, but he said, Twin. He stammered. Well, Twin, I think we're going to get along just fine. He smiled. About a year later, Walnut adopted Twin. Twin was determined he would be just like Walnut. He trained hard for over 4 years. He followed his father's footsteps and joined the army. About 3 years later, Twin, with the help of Walnut, got to join the Swarm Squad. Now, Twin won't be alone again. An Avali origin story. Walter. Oh. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Encrypting file. Wait. Oh, wait. I think this is the... Yeah, this is the, what's it called? This is the... Into the, Walter into the Walterverse. I'm just gonna skip that, because once again, it is not canon, but if you want to listen to it, you can go to one of the previous videos. I read it there. Anyways, we're going to, another Walnut... Oh, wait, no. An Avali origin story. Walnut. I was just a kid when Avalon was attacked by Florin. They kidnapped over 15 Avali. I was one of those Avalis. They ran over countless tests on us to see how resilient we are, and how much we could stand. The first week was excruciating. There was 15 of us to start with, and now there are 10. I met a man named Raleigh. I'm once again probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. He has helped me, well, survive. Raleigh has kept our morale high. The next week, I almost died. One of the Florins started pushing me around and pulled out a gun and pointed at me. Raleigh jumped in and shoved him to the side. He was quickly apprehended and taken to extreme testing. There are 7 of us now, and the tests are getting worse. I don't know how much longer we can survive. It was the 3rd week when things got so much worse. It just felt... Yeah, it was just me and Raleigh left. Raleigh came back, almost completely covered in blood, and on the brink of death. I fixed him up the best I could, but he was still in bad condition. Later that night, I made a promise that we would escape. Now all we have to do is wait. We had made our escape. We used an escape pod to get to the closest planet. We had walked for days, then Raleigh's condition worsened. As I laid him down, he said, I'm just slowing you down. Please, just leave me behind. No, I said. I can't lose you. You're like a father to me. He raised his hand and placed it on my cheek. And you are like a son, and you are like my son. Now I've done my part. Now go do yours. I've given you a chance at life. Don't waste it. His hand fell to the ground. No! I cried. 10 years later, I have dedicated my life to science. I became a scientist so that I could help people to make up for to make up for the people I couldn't save before when I was weak. But I have just been accepted into the swarm as a lead scientist. 2 years later. Walnut, Walter said. Come on, the ship needs your help. Alright, give me a second. Well, duty calls. Oh my, I'm so butchering this. In a Avali short story, Pev's train. Pev just walked out of Mental's tavern, slightly buzzed, when a man in a hat with 3 wolves approached him and asked him if he liked trains. Pev obviously said yes. Then the man asked if he wanted a train for only 100 Valley coins. Pev, being slightly buzzed, took the offer. The next morning, Pev woke up inside the train with a pounding headache. Pev then exited the train to see that the train had only about 5 cars. Pev then entered the train to take a look around. He went through 5 carts to see what he had bought. 3 of the carts were completely empty, and 2 were passenger carts. But he realized that there was another door into another cart. He opened it to see another empty room. Confused, he went he went to the other end to see another door that went into another cart. About 10 times going into these extra carts, he then decided to go back, but he went through 20 doors in the other direction. He then decided to put a piece of paper in one of the carts, went into another cart, then he went back into the same carts and the paper was gone. The carts are changing, said. He then decided to label each of the carts. About 100 carts, the labels started to show up, and now he had all the carts labeled. About 3 years later, he hired some people to work on the train. He now delivers supplies to Avalon and Mental's Tavern. He also took a special deal that was extremely lucrative and dangerous. To this day, no one but Pev knows why phenomenons and rumors of entities are encircling around the train. The Immortal Flame. The Immortal Flame was a destroyer built by Walter to protect the swarm. The ship took over 5 years to make, and used up many resources from other planets. The ship's hull is strong enough to withstand multiple missile strikes. It has a built-in shield generator to block stronger attacks, such as hull-piercing rounds. It also has a reactor core as an energy source. As for weaponry, it has 2 dual gunner seats, equipped with specialty design guns, designed by Wellness, that shot gas-releasing bullets that pierce through enemy hulls and release a gas that Walnut also designed. It also has forward artillery that locks on bigger enemy ships and annihilates them, but it takes a while to cool down. It has state-of-the-art steering and can go at Mach speed and travel through the void. It has an AI ship. It has a ship AI that manages the ship and is also a mapping system that can take notes where it has already been. The AI is named Cannon Fodder. The Immortal Flame got its name from an old folktale about a ship that robbed and pillaged anything the crew could get their hands on. The captain's name was Cannon Fodder. The ship was sunk by a kraken. About 2 years of reigning terror. The destroyer is one of a kind, and will help the swarm greatly. Oh wait, no, I'm skipping the Walnuts Lab. Let's see. Oh my goodness, people keep doing notifications. Alright. Twins, true backstory. Twin was a kid who absolutely loved his family. His brother, Top, almost never left his side. One day, Twin and his brother went into the wood, just messing around, when suddenly they heard something break the dense atmosphere. It was an Apex ship. Twin and Top looked up at the ship in horror. "Let's go back," Twin said. Top nodded, and the brothers quickly ran home. When they got home, in a state of panic, they tried to tell their parents what was happening, but it was far too late. As soon as the front door closed, a very large explosion rang through the house. The house was now on fire. Twin looked around the room to try to find his family, but to no avail. Twin ran out the back door, hoping his family was there. They were not there. They were nowhere in sight. Twin was crying. He didn't know what to do, or where to go. All he did was stand there. About a minute later, he heard coughing. He ran to the other side of the building to find his brother, lying on his back, hacking and wheezing. Twin ran to his brother's side and held him in his arms. Top looked up at his brother and smiled. Twin was smiling too, but soon both those smiles faded away. Twin was crying with Top in his arms, unable to stand. Soon there was a wolf that showed up, then 2, then 4, and they all started circling Twin. Twin didn't care what happened to him. He had hoped wolves would just kill him and end his suffering. A man soon came, but Twin did not acknowledge him. I, of all people, know how hard it is to lose a family member. For you know what, never mind. The man talked in a low tone of voice, almost sinister. "What?" the man stammered. "What would you do to have your brother back?" Twin then looked at the grinning man, and said, "I would lay down my life for him." "I see," the man said. I'll make you a deal. If I bring your brother back, if you be my champion." The wind started to pick up, and the man reached out his hand. "Do we have a deal?" The man looked like he was smiling an abnormally large smile. Twin quickly took the man's hand, without thinking. "I'm not much of a fighter, but I'll do anything for my bro." The man started to laugh hysterically. Then he looked into Twin's eyes. "I'll see you around." Twin then woke up in the snow next to his brother. He quickly sits up and starts shaking his brother. Top coughs to life. "You're alive!" Twin said with tears in his eyes. Top looked at his brother and says, "Yeah, I guess I am." The brothers hugged, but their reunion was cut short from the sound of an ape. "Over there, I see them!" Twin quickly tries to help his brother to his feet, but Top can't stand, let alone walk. "Bro," Top says, "you have to go." "No!" exclaimed Twin, "I can't lose you again!" Top then hugs his brother. Ooh, I got lost. I think I'll be fine. Oh, wait, no. Oh, where did I go? "No!" exclaimed Twin, "I can't lose you again." Top then hugs his brother again and says, "You have to go. I'll be fine. Go get the police. And don't look back." Twin, with tears in his eyes, runs from the scene. "There!" yelled one of the apex. "Forget him," said another. "We got what we came for. And take that kid too. Could be useful." Twin then sees the ship take off and leave the sky. Twin falls to his knees, for he had just lost his brother again. At that point in time, Twin's attitude changed. He rose from the ground. "Hey, there's a kid over there," said a Navali soldier. The soldiers approached Twin. Twin then opened his eyes. They used to be a shade of light blue, but they were now orange with determination. Twin jumps in the air and lands on one of the Navali soldiers, knocking him out. He proceeds to knock out 2 more soldiers before he was tranquilized. "Give me Dr. King, right now!" Pev's lore. Pev was born into a Navali family 38 years ago. He had a rather normal childhood until during primary and secondary education. Pev discovered he had a decent knack for the sciences. Eventually, Pev was accepted into the Navali Institute of Technology, or AIT. And, after several years of meticulous study and research, he attained a PhD in rhetorical physics, in theoretical physics. God dang it, not rhetorical. However, such an undertaking has changed Pev, with him falling back on alcohol to cope with the stress of such a lucrative program. Something he never got over. After graduating, Pev planned to go into advanced infrastructure engineering for the Avali government, but after seeing a massive marketable hole in the media, proceeded to pursue an acting career instead. Using information obtained during his education, Pev created and successfully produced a daring trivia-based reality TV show, Trivia Murder Party, which took Avalon by storm, both educating and entertaining the now resource-scarce society. Soon he found himself rising through the film industry, producing movies, shows, and the majority of entertainment media for Avalon, often starring, of course, himself. The road to such success is a tough one. However, with Pev learning to fight, bicker, negotiate, and spell to navigate the film industry, eventually Pev was offered a new and particularly unique contract to go film with a group known as the Swarm, one of Avalon's off-world groups, dedicated to gathering resources and conducting military activities. With healthy monetary compensation, an excellent reputation bonus, the promise of a high-ranking position, and the ability to provide hope for the dying planet of Avalon, Bev signed on to the gig. He packed his essential film equipment, boarded the Swarm spaceship, and Avalon Central, and was on his way to continue his career. The disease. Avali's have been hit by a serious disease. Walnut has been studying the disease all year and has finally figured out what it is. The disease came from a volcano. The volcano released ash and smoke minerals into the air. Since we aren't used to ash and smoke, it made an infectious disease Walnut calls Paluminum. Paluminum? That's probably wrong. If you want the right pronunciation, ask Walnut himself. I'm just a man reading this, and I can't pronounce jack diddly. This disease infects the lungs, forming crystals on the Once again, I can't pronounce that. Let me try this. Bronchili, I can't remember. Look, don't blame me. I don't pay too much attention to anatomy and that kind of junk. My job's to entertain people, alright? Not do this. Oh my god. But if you do want right pronunciation, you either know it yourself, or Google, or Walnut, or, those kind of things. Just ask them, alright? Which causes it causes extreme coughing, tiredness, weakness, fading of senses, and possibly death. The disease spreads by air particles, and the process repeats over and over again. To prevent the spread, we will be making less trips to Avalon. Wear a protocol gas mask when around infected, or if you're on Avalon, and we will be having virtual meetup. Everyone stay safe out there. Avali scientists will eventually make a sufficient cure. Which is probably going to take forever, honestly. Trey's sickness. We do have good technology, yes, we do. But still, they're still working on how to take this out. How to take care of this disease. But, let's just go ahead and continue. This should be the last, this is the last one to read. For now, until, the third Walnut's lab comes out. Trey's sickness. Trey felt absolutely blissful. Not to say that the disease didn't mentally strain or stunt or whatever, just that immunization to pain is great. Trey heard Walnut recovered from being sick, almost instantly. It'll just be one more day, Trey thought. Trey thought she heard. Yeah. Maybe someone like Walnut, Ev, Walter, or Mental. Trey just shut her eyes. Trey woke up with a slight tinkling in the back of her mind, but she paid no mind to it. It was just annoying that she couldn't hear the conversation going on around her. Trey thought she heard someone say, "More time?" It was blurry. Trey tried to move and react to what they had just heard, but couldn't. Trey remembered she were hooked up to IV. Though she thought she could see the people that were talking, they stopped and looked for a second. Trey just sighed out of frustration and shut her eyes. Trey woke up with more pain and the slightest upset feeling in her stomach. Trey had eaten those rainbow candy pellet thingy, but she had no trouble breathing and felt fatigued. The doctors made the assumption that it was palumum. Once again, I can't pronounce the bloody disease, alright? I apologize. The tingling that she felt was like that oh god, I screwed that up. The tingling that she felt was like it was at the back of her head, was getting more and more annoying, and Trey involuntarily went to try to scratch it. But, surprise, surprise, she still couldn't move. Trey only thought of what day it was before shutting her eyes, and she didn't know anymore. Trey woke up to more pain and lots of people around her. maybe more people got sick. Trey could barely open her eyes, and it was all white noise. As if the energy had been sucked out of her. Trey's head was completely tickling, as if it was feeling like TV static. Trey tried to move, even with the lack of energy, and found that she could at least move her ear, as she hadn't tried that before. She did try and flap her ears for the others to notice. And Trey thought they did, but maybe they didn't. Trey didn't know. She woke up again and just couldn't see or hear anything. Isolation was the worst. That's true for most of Ollie's. Trey felt like stabbing something, maybe even herself, to get herself to move. Trey didn't know, but she couldn't move anyway. Trey realized what might happen if Vox tried to call her and got no answer. Where was Trey's stuff? Would Vox storm the swarm? For the first time, Trey shut her eyes, but this time fearing for what might come to her friends. What might they think of Trey? And that was all. That is all, folks, in the lore currently. There is There is still the, Walnut Lab, but I'm still waiting for part 3 before I read it. And once again, I apologize for pronouncing crap wrong. But I will once again say in my defense, I'm a radio host, my job's to entertain people and play music over the radio every now and then. Not to do that kind of things, alright? Anyways, folks, that should be all. This is your radio host signing off. Along with Cuckoo, the man... recording everything. Folks, that'll be all.